Alright, so now that we have made our charts for country, state and city, it's now time to compile all of that on one sheet, which will be called our dashboard. So first of all, what we need to do is that we need to add a new sheet here in our Excel. So I'll click on this plus sign here, and this new sheet will be renamed as dashboard. Okay, and let's bring this dashboard to the corner. And now what we need to do is that we need to copy these charts from here, and we need to paste Control C and Control V there on this sheet here, this main sheet here, and just let me make it a little smaller. And now let's go to the state chart and copy it, and coming back to the dashboard, let's paste it here and let's make it smaller as well. And then let us move to the third chart, that is basically the city, and when I go there, just copy, Control C, and let's get back to our dashboard and Control V to paste. And I will just close this toolbar here, and I will have to make it smaller to make it, just to bring them in one particular direction. And now let's make them a little more aligned, because on one dashboard we have to bring in a lot of information, so there's nothing to lose if we just make this chart smaller, because there are only 3 countries to represent. So I will make this chart very small, as much small as possible, to the extent that it is still visible. And then I have to bring in the state. There are quite a few states, so I will not be able to make them much more small. And then there are many cities, so we have to keep this chart big, but on the other hand I have to make sure that all of that information is also fitted into this one sheet here. So I will have to make it small as well to some extent, right? So all of them are in one line, and then you can see that we have the information available by country and then by state. I will just have to make it a little bigger, this heading, so that okay, so I have not been able to do it anyways. So I can we have all of this information on one sheet here, and then what we need to do is that I should be able to click on USA, and then this data of states and cities should be filtered accordingly just to represent USA. And similarly, if I click on Mexico here, the data on states and cities should be filtered here. This should work downward as well as upward. With upward, I mean that if I click here on this California, this chart here for the country and this chart here for the city should also be updated just to represent the country and cities of California. Well, unfortunately, in Microsoft Excel, this cannot work this way. I cannot drill down my data on the basis of charts. But the good news is there is another feature which is called slicers, and on the basis of slicers we can make these charts interactive. How do we do that? Let us take a look. So first of all, I will click here on this, I will just press the Alt key to get my toolbar, and on this Analyze button here, I will click on Insert, and on this panel I need to select the field on the basis of which I want to apply my slicer. So for now I want to select the country. And by the way, if you want multiple slicers for state and city, you can do that as well in one go. So I will select all 3 of them, country, state and city, and I will press OK. And you can see that we have 3 slicers instead of 1. So I will just focus on this one first. So I will make it a bit smaller so that I can fit it into the corner, and I will bring it here into the corner. And now that we have slicers, we will have to update our dashboard as well. So I will have to make it smaller as well, and let me place them first in one line, and then after that I can I can then do that fitting the placement of these charts as well. And let me do that this with city as well, so I should be able to see the cities in bit more detail, because cities are not very obvious when we click here. So I have to increase them in a little bit, increase them in size a little bit, so that they all are placed decently in one line, right? So I think my slicers are all placed in one line. And now before I demonstrate how the slicers are working, let me first of all move these charts from here. So I will press the Shift key to select multiple of them, and then I will select all of them here, and I can move them in one go. And here we have our charts ready for us. And now if I click on this Canada here or Mexico, you will see that this chart here is getting updated but not the others. So if I click on Canada, this chart has been updated but not the others, and if I click on USA, you can see the same is happening. So the problem is only one of these charts is linked here with the slicers for now, so we need to link others as well. And for that I will click here, I will right click here, and in this report connections here I will click and I will select all of these three charts. And now if I click OK, and now if I select any of the country, for example if I press Mexico, you can see that all of my charts are getting updated. If I click on Canada, all of my charts are getting updated. So I will have to do the same thing for this slicer as well, report connections, and then I have to select all of these, and then I have to do the same thing with this one as well, report connections, and then all of them. And here we go. So now that you have applied a filter of Canada, slicer of Canada here, I can just click here on this cross icon, and you can see that all of my data is back. And you can apply this slicer in any of the lower levels as well. So if I click, for example, say if I click on this Los Angeles, you will see that this city has been updated to represent Los Angeles, and the state has also been updated to represent California only, and the country has been updated to represent USA only. Well, you could choose not to update, not to link this country. You could you could choose to keep it fixed as 3 countries to represent 3 countries, but you can make it dynamic as well to represent the cities and the states that you're working in right now. So I will remove this slicer for now, and we have all the data back.